Well, well, well. Well, well, well. It's an interesting day. It's an interesting day. It is an interesting day. We're going to try to get through this because, well, well, well. The NBA. The NBA. Let me just share this link. This is weird, man. This is weird. I'm telling you right now. Right now. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. All right. It's late. I'm not going to be up here too long. The NBA has made some very interesting moves the last couple of days. It's been one of the weirdest 10 days in NBA history. You had Giannis go to the Heat, LaMelo to the Wolves, even John Morant to the the Blazers. Even John Morant to the Blazers. It's been weird. All right. Welcome to the Nick Black Show on Broken Button TV. Today we're talking NBA. It's been an interesting 10 days. A very interesting 10 days. One of the weirdest 10 days that I can remember since I've been following the NBA. You have Giannis to the Heat. Now remember that one. Remember that one right there because we're going to get back to that. We're going to get back to that because this is not a good day, chat. It's not a good day. It's a great day because we're alive if you're watching this right now, but as far as the NBA fans go, the Celtics fans go, it's not a good day. But anyways, weird NBA offseason. We have Giannis to the Heat. He's been a staple in Milwaukee. He's been the franchise player. He's been a dog, an absolute dog over there. But it's time to move on. Okay, cool. LaMelo Ball, electrifying player. Showtime. Box office. But he played for the Hornets. Small market team. Couldn't really get anything going there. They couldn't really, put the right pieces around him. You have John Morant. John Morant's out of Memphis. And he's in Portland. Now, he's had a lot of trouble up there in Memphis, off the field. Couldn't quite stay out of the spotlight when it came to some of his off the court activity. Mainly, he liked to be with firearms, sometimes nefarious characters. Look, I get it. He wanted to be in the hood. Well, he's in Portland now. Can't do all that gangbanging in Oregon, buddy. It's not going to work. They're going to pack you up. We have Tyler Hero. He went up to Milwaukee. I guess he's from there. Cool, whatever. Don't really care about that story much. There was an interesting one that happened. Kawhi Leonard went back to the Raptors. It's pretty interesting because Kawhi's story is he went up there for 1 year. Just one. And won them a championship. So to see him come back, I know the city's happy about it. Drake posted seemingly happy about it, which is interesting because Kawhi was at the pop-out. Now, he wasn't doing all that crip walking, but he was there. Now, that leads me to the last trade I want to talk about. This one's not good, chat. This one is not good, chat. Jaylen Brown is now a Sixer. Jaylen Brown has been traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for a box of Newport 100s and some draft picks. He's been traded for a bottle of Don Julio Reposado and some future picks that we don't even know if they're going to be good or not. He has been traded Let me not disrespect. Paul George is a legend. To some. Not all. But he's arguably one of the better players to have played the game. Arguably, but anyways. Let me not be disingenuous. He was traded for Paul George and some picks. You know what? I don't even know. A couple first round, a couple second round. I don't even care. I don't care. Because Jaylen Brown is one of the best Celtics in the Celtics' entire storied history. And they're treating him like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. I do not like it. Now, The writing's been on the wall. We should have seen this coming. We should have read the tea leaves. It's been there. But if you're going to trade one of the sixth, seventh, eighth best players in the entire NBA, some would argue the best or the least top three two-way player in the entire NBA, at least get something for him that's worth a damn. When the Antetokounmpo trade was floating around, I'm not going to lie, Chad. As a Celtics fan, I liked it. I really liked it. And I love JP, but come on. You get a chance to get Greek Freak, you get Greek Freak, right? But no. Brad Stevens couldn't get that done. What he did get done is letting the trade rumors and talks get louder and louder and louder and louder. And once he couldn't get that deal done, chat, it was a wrap. We don't have the leverage to get anything that JB is worth. We don't. So we settled. We settled for a couple draft picks, a shepherd's pie, a French bulldog, and a Hayabusa 800, 1300 with a salvage title and a broken gearbox. We don't want Paul George. I think I speak for all of Celtics Nation saying we do not want Paul George. Now that I'm done with the Paul George slander, he's not terrible. I mean, he shot, 41% from three last year. I think 38% the year before and 45% the year before. He can spot up shoot. And in the Celtics offense, he will have the greenest of green lights to do that. But as a fan, I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't love it. I don't need it. Now let's go to this clip of Brian Windhurst talking about this. Let me find this. Here we go.
Look, I just know that the Celtics felt that even though Jaylen Brown was talking about himself for MVP, or there was this MVP campaign for Jaylen Brown, the Celtics did not feel that Jaylen had the best season on their team. And I don't mean Jason Tatum. I'm talking about they felt that Derek White had a better season,
despite the fact he had a poor shooting season.
I agree.
But they felt he impacted.
All right, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm stopping you right there. This whole notion of Derek White shot poorly last year, and you know what? It started to get real weird. It started to get real weird last week when you had analytics guys saying that Jaylen Brown is like the seventh best dude on like any team in the NBA. What is happening here? The 7th best. He ended up in like top 5 or 6 in MVP voting last year. I'm an eye test guy. And listen, I'll be the first to admit, I know that with Jason Tatum coming back, it's hard to keep that 1A, 1B thing going because somebody gotta, when it's time to take over the game, somebody has to know, listen, this is my team. I'm 1A. So I understand why we had to ship Jalen, because it wasn't going to be Jason Tatum. He's the face of the franchise. I don't care how good Jaylen Brown is. But if we're going to move a piece like that, we need to get what a piece like that is worth. This is insane. Let me get back to this clip.
Season.
I agree.
But they felt he impacted winning the most.
And
wait, let me run this back.
I agree. Jason Tatum. I'm talking about they felt that Derek White had a better season,
despite the fact he had a poor shooting season.
I agree.
But they felt he impacted winning the most.
And the statistics that people used to analyze,
on, off, and whatnot,
said that.
Yeah.
Brian Hurst, and I can tell, it looks like it pains him to even say any of this because it sounds even crazy to him. Do you understand that? This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. This is absolutely nuts. You know what? I'm going to play this one clip. This is the first time. I don't even know what he's saying. But Stephen A. is going to say something, and I don't know if I'm agreeing with it or not, but I'm going to play it right here live. Because if he's anything like I know him to be, I think he's going to think this is crazy too. What's he saying on this clip? You're watching this for the first time, just like me.
Boston Celtics have traded star guard / forward, Mr. Hybrid himself, the one and only Jaylen Brown. Philadelphia's in a good spot. Got to give credit where credit is due. Here is, however, what I have to say to Jaylen Brown. Boston.
Look at that. My guy, Black King, stressed out. He's stressed out right there. He's stressed out. Stressed out. They're bringing up old Jason Tatum tweets. Not looking too good for the Celtics right now. Yeah. What a prediction. What a prediction from 2012. Yeah. No. I really can't believe this. This is quite insane. Let me actually go over here and see what Steven is saying, because this is ridiculous. And listen, don't get it twisted. Do not get it all the way twisted. The 76ers won this. They won this trade. And hats off to them. They pulled off the biggest heist. The Philadelphia 76ers pulled off the biggest heist in NBA history. The biggest heist. It was a masterclass in bamboozlement and swindlehood. This is crazy, y'all. This is absolutely insane. This is insane. Let me see what Stephen A is saying about this, because this is absolutely insane.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this special edition Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you because an NBA trade is taking place. Let me not waste time. The Boston Celtics have traded star guard / forward, Mr. Hybrid himself, the one and only Jaylen Brown, the $304 million man, to the Philadelphia 76ers for 2 first-round picks, a couple of second-round picks, the ability to swap picks, all of that good stuff, and Paul George. That's the news going on right now. Now, let me tell you something right now. There's a couple of angles to take from this, and we're going to get it out the way first. First of all, Philadelphia 76ers, as far as I'm concerned, won this trade.
Of course.
Jaylen Brown's a studies an MVP candidate, fresh over averaging over 28 a game, was an MVP candidate, led the Boston Celtics to a top 2 seed within the Eastern Conference without the services of Jason Tatum for more than 60 games of this year because he was out with that Achilles tear. We all know what Jaylen Brown brings to the table, so Philadelphia looks in a damn good position. Number 2, Bob Myers, who's presided over the Philadelphia 76ers, no longer the head man of the Golden State Warriors. We all know that this 4-time champion knows what the hell he's doing. So if anybody deserves the benefit of the doubt, it's him. And when you take into account the fact that this deal was made, you got to give credit where credit is due and give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that this man knows what he's doing, because he does. And as a result, it is what it is. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? I love this right now. This doesn't bother me one bit. I got to give respect where it's due. I got to give credit where credit is due. Just to reiterate the specifics and understand, everybody make sure we understand where everybody's coming from.
Bruh, this shit's so weird. Like, what the fuck?
Jaylen Brown has been traded from the Boston Celtics to the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers are sending Paul George 2 first-round picks in 2028 and 2031 and 2 second-round selections in 2028 and 2030 to Boston to complete the deal. This is after Miami, or rather Boston, wasn't able to pull off a deal to get Giannis and lost out to Miami. And
how can Brad, we love you, Brad. We love you. You know you're our guy. But failing to get Giannis onto Antetokounmpo and then doing this move, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Can't ride with you on this one, Playboy. No. Let's get back to Steven.
That deal. Boston had to get rid of Jaylen Brown. Philadelphia wins this deal because you're pairing Jaylen Brown, who's a dog, who's a stud. I'm saying that complimentary, of course. With Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, you talk about a 3-guard tandem right there that's lethal, and you shouldn't have any problem getting a bucket. Plus, Jaylen Brown's going to defend, and we got to pay attention to that. So in that regard, oh, by the way, he's 7 years younger than Paul George, 6.5 to be exact. Paul George just finished fresh off of averaging 17 a game. Jaylen Brown was at 28 a game. Paul George just finished playing 37 games this past year, even though 25 was due to a suspension for, using the wrong substance and violating league rules. But nevertheless, he only played 37 games. Whereas Jaylen Brown played 71 games. So all the pluses are in Philadelphia's favor in that regard. And with Joel Embiid and his questionable health, always a question mark. It's more than apropos that it's...
Jaylen Brown played 71 games out of 82 games. Let that sink in. No load management. Come on.
Jaylen Brown that's become a Philadelphia 76er. Because that's putting your money where your mouth is. Because in case you've forgotten, you do know what he said about Joel Embiid once before, right? Particularly after Boston had lost in the playoffs to the 76ers. Listen to Jaylen Brown speaking about his now teammate in Joel Embiid. Check it out.
And before we get to Jaylen's past comments on Joel Embiid, what makes this even worse is that we have to see Philly. We have to see Philly. Like, they're right here in the East. And, I mean, this is almost, I don't know if it's a rivalry, but it kind of is. And Jalen doesn't even respect Embiid's game. Look at these comments he said about Joel Embiid, which he was spot on about. But listen to what he says about his new teammate.
I mean, this is my personal opinion on basketball. Some of y'all might disagree. You know what I mean? But argue with your grandma. Flopping has ruined our game. Joel Embiid is a great player, one of the best bigs in fucking basketball history. Flops. He know it. This ain't breaking news. This ain't, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Y'all can clip it up. Like I said, y'all can post it on these paid accounts that y'all, these bot, whatever. That's just my opinion.
Let me make a bet with y'all right now.
He doesn't respect his game at all. At all. He was dead serious.
I bet you Jaylen Brown don't give a shit about him flopping now. I bet you he don't care. How much you want to make a bet? He don't give a damn if Joel Embiid flop now, because that's his teammate. And if it works, damn it, do it. Period. End of discussion. Right? Jaylen Brown, in a matter of hours, went from having Mitchell Robinson as his teammate to having Joel Embiid as his teammate. That ain't a bad trade-off, even if Joel Embiid only going to give you about 40 games a year. So let's get that out of the way first. And let's understand that from a basketball perspective, knowing and anticipating that the 2 first-round picks ain't going to be high first-round picks because the Philadelphia 76ers is going to win more games than they lose, you got to give credit where credit is due and say this was a worthy deal to make.
Now you get first-round picks from the oh my God. You get first-round picks from the Philadelphia 76ers, who are no longer tanking, by the way, and tanking doesn't even get you what it used to get you. And they just got Jaylen Brown, so they're going to win more games. You're not getting a high pick. Make this make sense. Make it make sense.
4 first-round picks, I'd have had a problem. But 2 first-round picks for Jaylen Brown, along with a guy that's 7 years older, 6.5 years older than Jaylen Brown, I'm sorry, I don't have a problem with this. So from a basketball perspective, combined with the fact that Jaylen Brown is starving to be that 1A dude, no matter what he says, Tyrese Maxey don't give a damn. It's not going to be an ego battle at all. Tyrese Maxey don't mind deferring. Tyrese Maxey going to do his thing. But he don't mind deferring to Jaylen Brown because Jaylen Brown can finish. And that's all he cares about. And imagine how VJ Edgecombe is going to grow and go.
Chat, I fear that Jaylen Brown is going to lead this team to the promised land. And normally, I'd salute. But a casualty of that will be my Boston Celtics. He's going to be number 1 on that team. His team is going to let him be number 1. And Embiid has no choice. He only plays half of the season. Jaylen Brown is going to be number 1 on the Philadelphia 76ers. And I fear that my Celtics are cooked, chat. I hope I'm wrong. I hope to God I'm wrong.
Learn from being a part of teammates with those two. Philadelphia's in a good spot. Got to give credit where credit is due. Here is, however, what I have to say to Jaylen Brown. Was I wrong now? We know he's an all-world player. All of this brouhaha that's been made about me and Jaylen Brown, I got nothing against Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's a good dude. Smart as hell, decent people. Just coming across as a bit sensitive, that's all right. But he's not a bad person. He's a good dude. All I said after they lost is that you're a champion and an NBA Finals MVP. You cannot be saying that losing in the first round was your favorite season. That's it. That's not a reason for him to be upset.
Points were
or
made.
His dad or anybody else to go off.
Points were made.
Go back and look at the tapes. I've been nothing but complimentary about Jaylen Brown. Because he's a stud. He's an all-world player. And he's going to do wonders in the city of Philadelphia. Make no mistake about it. He's that dude. But I wasn't wrong. Nor was I wrong with what I said a couple of years ago. When he wore them shirts talking about state your source, because I said, yo, he's not liked. I love how I see these people on over social.
Okay. But let's get to that. Why is Jaylen Brown not liked? He didn't do anything to embarrass his team like a Ja Morant, right? He wasn't that outspoken. I mean, he wasn't Kyrie Irving, right? He stood on certain things and he had a lot of things to say, but he wasn't this off the field distraction like some are making it out to be. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here.
Media now and with their podcast now, not giving me any credit, but echoing what the hell I said a couple of years ago. He's smart. He's accomplished. He doesn't suffer fools easily, and he's not to be manipulated. He's his own man.
They don't like that. When you can't be easily manipulated, they don't like that, chat. Now, who's they? I'll let you be the judge.
And Madison Avenue, figuratively speaking, doesn't like that. Because they don't like someone they view as hard-headed, not realize it's not being about hard-headed, it's about having pride and dignity and intelligence and following your intellect. I was complimentary of him. I was not insulting him. And sure enough, he doesn't make Team USA, but two players in Drew Holiday and Derek White, who both spent 82 games a year deferring to him and Jason Tatum. They made the team, but he did it. And sneaker deals and stuff like that. He got to start his own brand because, you know what, Nike and Adidas and others ain't rocking with him like he wants them to.
Now, hold up. I think he started his own sneaker deal because he understands leverage and ownership. I bought a pair of his sneakers. I really like them. So to me, that's not a knock against him.
All the stuff that I've said has been validated. And you know how it was validated? By the fact that he's a Philadelphia 76ers. Because why in God's name you're the Boston Celtics? And you're going to move away from a dude that gave you 28 a night and proved he could be a one option in the event that Jason Tatum is never the same again, even though I believe he will be. Why would you do that? Because you had to get him out of there, that's why. Because you knew in your heart of hearts he wasn't happy with being deferential to anyone. And he wasn't happy with that situation. And he wasn't happy with his name constantly being named in trade talks when he delivers what he delivers for you. 6 conference finals, 2.
That's a fact. Wasn't happy being number 2 to Jason Tatum. Let's keep it a buck.
NBA Finals, 1 NBA championship, and an NBA Finals MVP after capturing the Eastern Conference Finals MVP before the age of 30. That's what Jaylen Brown did. The brother's a stud. I like this move for the Philadelphia 76ers. It doesn't bother me one bit. We'll see what Brad Stevens, as the president of basketball operations for the Boston Celtics, ends up doing with these picks, along with Paul George, who's not going to mind being deferential to a Jason Tatum. But somehow, some way, it just appears Boston may have taken a slight step back, and Philadelphia might have taken a strong step forward.
I agree.
Congratulations to Jaylen Brown. Congratulations to Bob Myers and the Philadelphia 76ers. Congratulations. You have made things very interesting in the Eastern Conference of the National Basketball Association. Jaylen Brown with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. That's lethal, y'all. That's lethal. Stay tuned. Stephen A. signing off. Holler at you later. Going on vacation. Peace and love. See you when I get back. What's up, everybody?
Listen. That wasn't hyperbole. Philadelphia is going to be really good this year. Things are very interesting. And you know who else lost in this trade? The current NBA champions, the New York Knicks. The East just got tougher for them. Because I do believe that with the healthy Jason Tatum, we will be a contender. But this Jaylen Brown trade to make the Sixers stronger, that doesn't bode well for anybody in the East, but also it just got harder for the defending champs next year. I don't think we'll be seeing a repeat. You let me know. Do you think that the New York Knicks will be able to repeat next year? Or at least get out of the East? I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Boston's going to be with a healthy Tatum. We'll see what if Paul George can knock down set threes, great. Peyton Pritchard, beast. Derek White, if he can shoot better this year. And look at the Heat. I mean, the Heat got better too. Milwaukee got worse, but the Heat got better. So we can't count them out of anything. Not now, at least. It's way too early for that, right? So, y'all let me know. Did the Sixers win this trade? Do you think the Celtics? If you think the Celtics won this trade, please put it in the comments. You let me know. Will the New York Knicks run it back next year now that the East is a little bit more balanced? Also, let me know in the comments. But as a Boston Celtics fan, I think I speak for most people in Celtics Nation. We don't like it. We don't like it. Anyway, that's all I got for you today because I'm still processing a lot of this. But I'll be back to talk about more than just sports. But you are watching The Nick Black Show on Broken Button TV.